lunchtime pals. How's everybody doing? Sorry I'm a little late. Been handling some business this morning. It has been a little crazy. As you know, with the storefront opening, there's just a whole lot of things that you have to do. And so I've been on the phone all morning long. How are you guys doing? My name is Lindsay and I am with Perfectly Pastry. Who's Perfectly Pastry? We are a local bakery that will be opening our retail space November 3rd. So we're really excited about that. If you guys are watching. All right. So last week I talked about cream of tartar and I was like, who has cream of tartar in their pantry and why? My mom was like, do you know what cream of tartar is used for a lot? And I'm like, to make baking powder? And she was like, no. And I'm like, what? And she was like, it can be a stabilizer when you have egg whites. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Brianna and I were making, Brianna's my oldest, she wanted to make cloud bread. I don't even know. She wanted to make cloud bread and it's made with egg whites and it asked for her to add the cream of tartar to it. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. She was like, yeah, it helps stabilize them. And I was like, well, there you go. Maybe that's why I had cream of tartar in my spices. I don't know. But there you go. Now you know what cream of tartar is used for. And the other thing my mom wanted me to say, she was like, why didn't you say this? And I was like, I kind of mentioned it. So pate dough is not made with sugar, so it's not a sweet dough, which means that it's great for savory, not just for sweet food. So when I said my kiddo wants to wrap it in chicken and fry up her chicken in it, my mom's like, well, yeah, that's a normal thing. There's no sugar, so it's a savory. It can be used as savory or as a sweet dough, depending on like what you're making. So, you know, cream puffs, you would add the cream that adds the sweetness, etc. Yeah. I kind of laughed because I was in a meeting this week with somebody and they kept saying et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I kept chuckling because like that is like their go-to. I'm on meetings with this person a lot, but that's like their go-to whenever they're like explaining things. They'll like start talking, they'll be like, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm always like, oh, what does that et cetera mean? Yeah, so it's kind of funny. I always said et cetera, et cetera. All right. So thanks guys for hopping on. I see some of you guys hopping on. Hello. We are seriously under 30 days until the opening of a retail space, so we're super anxious, excited, and busy. And this week is our 5-day bake-along challenge. If you guys are following us on Instagram, then you saw our story with our cute little our cute little monster cookies that we made. If you're not following us on Instagram, hop over there, check out our stories. We showed you guys these adorable monster cookies that my mom made for Halloween, and they are so cute. It was so funny because we were like really talking about the green, right? And my mom was telling me she was making these monster cookies, and for whatever reason, I thought she was making Frankenstein cookies. And I was like, oh, I love that green. It's a great Frankenstein cookies. And she's like, why do you keep thinking I'm making Frankenstein? And I'm like, I don't know, because of the green. And she's like, that's not what I said. She's like, do you even listen? I'm like, I swear I was listening, but obviously I wasn't listening close enough. So hop on Instagram. We're at Perfectly Pastry on Instagram. Check out our story and see those adorable cute cookies and give us a heart on our story and let us know. You're like, oh, those are so cute. We would love that. All right. Did you see my sappy post? Yes. I posted something super sappy. I'm not a big sappy person, but like it's just been a whirlwind these last couple of days. Like just really things are like really coming together about the opening. And so it's just like all over the place. And I was like going back through pictures and I saw those pictures that I shared from the farmer's market. And so we were like sitting around and I was like, do you remember when our BHAG was just to have a retail space and like now we're there? And my mom's like, what's a BHAG? So then I realized, okay, I guess everybody doesn't know what BHAG is. Honestly, I just recently learned about BHAGs, and it's kind of funny because like I'm a huge goal setter. I love goals. I mean, I've talked to you guys a million times about like how much I love goals, how much I love competition and beating my sister. Yes, that is still a thing. And so I was so excited when I heard like what a BHAG was. Mainly, I mean, I guess I knew the concept of a BHAG. I just didn't have a name for it. So BHAG means big, hairy, audacious goal. And so this is a goal that like if all the stars aligned perfectly, like this is what you want. And so we're sitting there and I'm like, I cannot believe like we short-sighted our BHAG. And my mom's like, what do you mean? I'm like, we wanted a retail space. And in all honesty, it wasn't that hard to get a retail space. I'm like, our next BHAG needs to be like big. I mean, like we need a big goal to work for, you know? So we're excited because our new BHAG is something that we've talked about a lot, but like just kind of put it on the back burner and keep bringing it back up. And so I thought I would share with you guys today. So our new BHAG, which is your big, hairy, audacious goal. So if everything lines up, this is what we are working towards. And it is so that we can open our own retail space that has a training center with it. We haven't obviously worked out all of the details 100%, but we've really been throwing around a bunch of different groups. But we really want to create a baking training employment program for the underserved. It's really important to us. My mom loves being able to teach people baking and train, and we really want to give back by training others on how to bake and all the details that come with baking. There's a lot of science that comes behind baking, being able to take a recipe and figure out why that recipe didn't work and what you need to do and adjust to make it better. Just like etiquettes in the kitchen, processes, all of those things. And so we want to be able to train individuals on how to do those things in the kitchen and then give them a stable employment so that they can then go out and start a new field with the training and everything that they already have. And so that is our new BHAG. It is so that right now my mom is going to be running the day-to-day operations. She's going to be baking, she's going to be checking people out, she's going to be doing those things. And it's really important that we now focus on how do we move her out of the day-to-day role and more to a manager role so that she can be overseeing kitchen and be training and developing things. So that is our new BHAG. It's okay, we've got retail space going, now we need to take that bigger and better. And so that is the direction we are heading in. And that brings me to when we originally talked about our BHAG and we're at that farmer's market, like, everybody was so kind. Like they were like, oh, when you're telling them, yeah, this is our first farmer's market and we're really excited to be doing this with our mom and we really want to have a storefront one day. And they're all going, oh, you're so cute. You keep dreaming, oh yeah, you should make it someday. And that they're walking away going, those naive little girls, it's not going to happen, but here we are, it's happening. And so that's really exciting. And I'm like, if I can look at our BHAG and be like, oh, that was so minor, I'm like, we really got to dream big. So that is our new goal. And we are really, really excited to be moving towards that next goal of ours. So with that in mind, like I said, we have been really busy because we've been getting everything that you need, permits, licenses, tax collections, all of these things that you have to be able to open this storefront. And so we've been working on that, but we also have to configure our space. So we have our space in our area, but we've got to get the counters installed, display cases installed, all of that. And so that is what we've been working on this week, getting the space designed, picking out the equipment, getting that all set up. So as that progresses, I will be sharing with you guys the progress on our space. So that is getting really exciting because it is opening soon. Yay, so soon. It's so funny because it's like, oh, it's, 3 weeks away. Oh, it's 3 weeks away. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do? It's 3 weeks away. So there's a lot of excitement. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of excitement. We're really trying to keep the nervous energy at bay. Like we're really trying to don't let any negative energy into this. We've got this. That's kind of where we're at now. So that is kind of where we're heading. And I thought today, I know I'm always all over the place when we do these lives. Sometimes it's about baking, sometimes it's about business, but today I just really wanted to get on here, give you guys an update, let you know everything that's going on, and really just connect with you guys and tell you guys thank you for all your support. Even if you were like, these girls are nut jobs, there's no way that this is going to happen, you still stuck around. You still stuck around, which means you still supported us and you still wanted it to work for us. And that means the world to us. And so we want to thank you guys. We want to thank you for getting on our lives. We want to thank you for ordering. We want to thank you for just liking, sharing, commenting, and just being part of our community, being part of our story, and being part of our journey. And so thank you for everything that you have done. And again, thank you for everything that you guys are doing. It's so nice to know that we have people out there cheering us on, being like, you go girls, you got this, we got your back. And so we just want to thank all of you guys. Again, it just means the world to us. So thank you for the support. Remember, our space is opening. Again, we're shooting for a November 3rd opening. I'm always like, do I put that out on the universe? I hate to be a negative Nelly. Like, I tend to get that from my dad. It's all right. He doesn't have Facebook. He doesn't know I'm talking about him like this. He tends to be a negative Nelly, and I've noticed that about him. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be a negative Nelly. So I've been like nervous to put that out there because I'm like, what if? And I'm like, there is no reason to dwell on what ifs. Like, that's not going to accomplish anything. So we are putting out there November 3rd. We know everything is going to be perfect. We have some hitches, but we'll figure it out. You know how that goes. But we would love for all of you guys to stop by if you can and say hi. We are going to be releasing some of the promotions that we'll be opening for, or be running for the opening. So keep an eye out on our Facebook group. But if you're on Facebook, but it's not really your fave, you're on other social media, we actually are on other social media too. So here on Perfectly Pastry, good grief. Here on Facebook, we are at Perfectly Pastry Bakery. It is the only one that we are at Perfectly Pastry Bakery. On all of our other social media, we are at Perfectly Pastry. And we love for you, if that's where you hang out more often, like we totally love to connect with you on the other social media. On social media, my sister and I are the ones who typically will be answering your questions and things like that. But my mom gets on there too. So you never know who you're going to connect with. We love, like I said, chatting with all of you guys. We love when we get questions and comments and excitements and everything in any of our DMs. So we want to thank you guys for all of that. All right. So I'm going to have to give you guys like some like intel here. Okay. I've been editing a lot of videos, right? I told you it's very basic. And I notice when I end my sentences, I always end it on like a high pitched sound. So if you're watching my videos, watch them and listen for it. You'll see it. I'm like, I can't even duplicate it right now, but I do it. So let's see. I got to start a trend here. All right. So if you notice I do it, whenever I do it, let's see. I don't even know. Give me a thumbs up. So every time you hear me like do that weird like high pitched sound at the end of my sentence or word, you should just drop me a thumbs up and be like, ha, caught it. And maybe it's just me, maybe because, we're always harder on ourselves, but I'm always like, why do I do that? Oh, here it is again. Well, there's Lindsay's signature high pitched sound she's always making in her words. I'm like, why do I do that? I don't even know. So yeah, if you're watching any of my old lives, YouTube, like seriously, I put it all over the place. I do this weird, like, whoop, with my voice. So if you notice it, give me a thumbs up. Other than that, you guys, I really just wanted to hop on. Thank you guys so much for just being here and just always coming and supporting us. Like, it means the world to us. If you didn't see my Sappy post, you should definitely go and check it out. Other than that, we are trucking along so that we can open up on the 3rd, and we will keep posting you guys updates on what's going on, and then we will see you next week. Look, I didn't end on the high note. All right, you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. If you're watching this video, then you definitely should be liking us and following us on Facebook, but if you're hanging out on other social media, so are we, and come and find us. All right, bye you guys.